What's up, everybody? This is Fatima, and I'm back after a long hiatus, vacation, sabbatical slash time off. Um, plus, I was having little issues with the app and all that, and then I decided to come back on here. My information is in on my profile, and you can find links to my other platforms. Um, and you can link up with me where I be at. Okay. So now I'm just here to give a little bit of insight and enlightenment as to what is happening planetary wise right now, and if my video has come across you on your path, then this message will resonate for you as a compass, just to guide you and show you which direction you are facing. Um, for those that are confused and not sure which way you're facing, I'm going to give you some information that will help you to reshape your focus and help you to realign yourself. Put it that way. Okay. Now I gotta get back into it because I was high vibing for a long time, and I'm gonna stay that way. But I just want to um, get back grounded and touch base with reality as well, because that's what we all have to do during, especially during this time with Pisces. Pisces is the dreamer. Um, they are ruled by the planet Neptune, and they sit in the house with Sagittarius. So they are the rulers of spirituality, beliefs, your faith, the subconscious, the things that go on behind the scenes, the secret, the spirit world, the esoteric, the occult knowledge, the philosophy, trips, um, long distance travel, things like that. Okay. So this is all ruled by the planet Neptune. Neptune is the house that speaks on your imagination. The imagination, for some people, the imagination is a place where they like to escape and be free. For others, some people escape and they don't come back from that state of consciousness. The energy is aligned for us to balance your spirituality with your practicality. Tap into these emotions because you could be experiencing sensitivity now. You could be experiencing headaches, um, sensitivity in your feet. There could be issues when it comes to the melatonin, you getting an adequate amount of rest. Your mind could be full of thoughts that are connected to emotions, especially if you've gone through a breakup or shakeup of a foundation. Realize that this was just to align you. It wasn't to harm you, and you are where you are supposed to be. If you woke up today with another chance to restart and get it together and refocus, reshift, and figure things out, if you have been placed in a position where you have an opportunity to continue to rediscover yourself and heal aspects of yourself that you didn't know existed. The what was hidden in you is being asked to be introduced into the world. The energy is asking you to tap into your creativity. You may be a good person at you may be good at cooking. You could be good at expressing yourself through song. You could be tapping into a lot of music, because Pisces is also in the planet of Mercury. It's aspected in about 5 or 6 planets right now. And we have also shifted from the North Node in Aries, which is about following the impulses and taking the lead and being the boss over your life, to Pisces, meaning find your peace now. If you lived a life that was rough, or if you came from a rough period, now is the time to just be peace, be at peace. If you Because Mars rules over Aries and Scorpio, that is the planet of war. So you've come from a tough time. The foundation had to be rocked. Your spiritual beliefs were tested. You were being tested. You were being tempted. For many of you, you have passed and you are on a level of ascension, but you need to see what emotion no longer serves your highest good. And so you're being guided to look at self. It's always about self. It's always about the choices that you make as an adult. Once you became an adult, you consciously or subconsciously um, made these choices based on your ability to see that you have or do not have, based on God being in your life, not being in your life, in your relationship, or not being at the head of your relationship. Okay? We are still always, all roads lead back to self. So when you are in your position right now, we are still waxing now. We just came out of a waning phase of the moon when we were getting rid of what we don't need emotionally. But it is a constant ebb and flow because Pisces is the duality, the dual emotion. It's like if you look at Gemini, that's the dual thought. Pisces is the dual emotion. So you may feel this way and you may feel that way. You might feel nice, you might feel nasty. You might feel happy, you might feel sad. So it's a constant rock of the boat, right? But you don't want to tip the boat. You want to stay balanced. You may have taken on tasks that caused you to multitask. Time management may have been an issue for you in the past, but you may be learning how to manage your time a little bit more wisely. Um, you may have been harder on yourself before, and you're going to become more in tune with your emotions and understanding of your needs and being more empathetic to the needs of others. You will find yourself operating out of peace. If that is what you desire, you will, especially if you are a follower of Christ consciousness. Um, that is where you are headed. Your peace on earth will allow you to consciously evolve. Okay, so when we talk about evolution, we're talking about the number three. Number three is associated with Jupiter. Jupiter being the house of planet expansion growth. So you cannot grow and ascend if you are still holding on to something that's negative. Anything that is attached to you um, mentally, emotionally, physically, or that hinders you spiritually, because it is about the growth of self. Remember, we are in a time where we are headed to the age of Aquarius because we haven't really officially entered Aquarius yet. So we are in on the cusp. We're in preparation. But in order to get in, once we really get into that age of Aquarius, you have to have that knowledge and that understanding, so that when the age of Aquarius goes full force, boom, you know how to trust in the unknown. So just look at everything as a preparation phase for you. Um, your spiritual beliefs are being tested. You have to trust in what you don't know. A lot of people are in fear and they lack spiritual growth because they are attached to a person. They think they are assigned to a person because of the hype with the twin flame dynamic. There's a big facade with the twin flame. You are your twin flame, okay? You are the polar opposite of self. You operate from your shadow or from your healed self, and then you attract based on your ability to heal self or not. So when you attracted a person, if you are in a period where you feel like a slave in a relationship, you feel stuck, trapped, or bound. Okay, go back and trace the root. Cancer says look at the root of the problem. You grew up like this, that, and the third. Your beliefs were based off of your programmed state of mind. Because when children are born, okay, When children are born, they are born with no state of mind. Okay, it's a blank canvas. The spirit is in that child's body, and the child is programmed based off of whatever they are exposed to. So this is why doctors say limit the time your children spend watching TV, watching others, have them read books and do positive things, because that is what will help them to grow. When you abandon or neglect a child mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually, you give them no fruit, then that is a reflection of self. When you don't love self, when you are still operating out of the abandoned child, the most high is saying, the angels, the energy is telling you to get in alignment so that you can heal, so that next life you don't come back and repeat the same lesson. Okay, you have to get tired of repeating the cycle. um and you'll stay miserable until you are willing to take the lead in your life, which is the lesson from Aries, and stand up for yourself, right? So if you're in a position where you got a roommate, you feel stuck in a situationship, you didn't want to be there, you knew it going in that it was false, right? But you stayed and you created karmic debt with that person. So now you have to live out that contract until it is over, but you can still prepare um, for the next phase in the meantime. But be honest with yourself and be honest with others, because when you lie to others, you're basically lying to yourself. You're basically saying that you'd rather live in a lie than face your truth. Your fear is attached to the rejection, but rejection is redirection. And in a lot of cases, rejection is for your protection. Okay. And a lot of times, uh, projection needs to be protection. Okay. Try to do a little rhyme, something. No, but sometimes energies can get projected onto others, right? So, like when people are getting all of these information and readings about their person, and you see people doing readings back to back to back to back to back, you have to understand that there is a fine line of integrity when it comes to tapping into others' energy. You have to have permission. And if you are tapping into someone's energy, um, and what your intention is a difference between reading energy at a conscious level and shifting accordingly, and it's another thing to look at someone's energy and cast spells over someone's life when you have a gift. Um, if you're looking into something for knowledge on what is happening, why things happen, for purposes of closure or understanding, because of there being a communication barrier, that's understandable. But when you constantly look at the external and search for the answers, um, to what is happening and why things happen for you on a spiritual journey, instead of looking within, then you'll get lost. And then you'll always be looking on the outside for validation. If you're looking for closure, you'll never find it if you're looking on the external. If you're tapping into frequencies of the past. So if you went through a breakup and you're tapping into energy of the past, and that energy is still making you feel triggered, that is because you're still in the energy of the past. Now, if you're looking at energy in the present and you're wondering which direction you're headed, because energy flows like water, okay? You can manipulate the path that you are on, because if you chose if you chose to go left, and now left ain't working for you, and so now you're like, I should have went right, or maybe I should have kept straight. It's okay to read the energy to figure out where you need to be, right? For purposes of a compass. But then there are also people who are vindictive and who are just monitoring so that they can um, try to confuse and throw others off for their own monetary gain. So beware of false leaders. Okay, be aware of harsh judgments on self and others. Be more empathetic. This is what the energy of Pisces and Neptune is asking us to do, because there are a lot of exposures happening, and there are a lot of masks being peeled off, because you can't wear the you can wear the mask, but you can't hold it up but for so long. It's going to fall, it's going to slip out of your hand in one way, shape, form, or fashion. And at the end of the day, you have to be able to look at self, and you have to be able to sleep with yourself knowing that you were good or you were bad to someone. If you're soulless, the person just ain't going to care, and then you'll know if a person is soulless, because they will lack empathy for themselves and others, and they'll lack belief in any higher power. Okay, um, the one and only high power. So now, if you are feeling enslaved in a relationship, it's important that you finally just stand up for yourself and sit down and be honest with a person and just say, hey, look, this is what it was, this is what it was, this is what it is, and we have to figure out how to make this work. But no one should feel enslaved to the other. No one should feel like I have to please you so that I can have a peaceful life. That's not fair. That's not balanced, because if you're constantly working to provide for others, when you lack peace in your life because you're the one that's being overworked, and you're the doer and everybody is the receiver, but there's no reciprocation, then that causes imbalance, and then that causes lack of spiritual growth, emotional, mental, physical growth, and then karmic contracts could be created um, that way. So it is important that we constantly be mindful of the toxicity that we invite in when we do not choose to be happy, or when we do choose to be happy, because some scenarios are highlighted by our addictions, and Pisces rules over the addictions facilities, hospital stays. It is the opposite sister sign of Virgo. So Virgo rules over the health and work. So a lot of people work too much. A lot of people cope with life by becoming functional addicts. A lot of people may have been picking up on drinking more lately, especially with about 5 or 6 of the planets being in Pisces. Escapism is highlighted right now. So if you are a recovering addict of any kind, it's important that you identify what triggers you to cause you to drink or do whatever substance it is that you do to cope with the trauma, so that you don't slip back into um, relapse. You want to constantly recover, regroup, regrow. Okay. So just be mindful of the energies you invite in, especially with music is a very powerful tool. And some musicians, um, they're humans too. They people battle with different struggles. But some of our artists on different levels, not even music, just any area of artistry. Um, Everybody struggles with some type of shadow aspect of the self, because we're constantly evolving. But when you are on a frequency of inconsistency, like if you're listening to all different types of songs, music, different genres, watching all different types of movies, and you're picking up on different frequency levels. And then when it comes to manifestation, you're confusing the universe as to what it is that you really want, because when you're not aware of self, you're picking up on these emotions, and then you hold on to them uh, unconsciously, and then they fester in your subconscious mind because they go into the memory bank, and then you're manifesting from a position of an unhealed soul if you're listening to those that are not on a spiritual journey. Okay? I was thirsty for a second, so I had to have something to drink. All right. But all in all, the energy is geared to make you feel. Okay, so you will be triggered to feel emotions, and you have to be very careful because you have to treat others the way you want to be treated. Please take everything that I present in my videos as a sign. Okay, anything I say, anything you see. Um, if you hear faint sound in the background, that's a sign. Okay, there's no coincidences in life. Everything is meant to happen as the way it is happening. So now when we look at the facade of having a person, we have to understand and remember that we are on the journey of the soul. The duality is measured by time being linear, time being an object created by man based on science, okay, because we operate off of numbers, and numbers are frequency, and frequency is energy level. So when we operate from a lower frequency and we are in the negative, we're searching for something positive. So the point that I'm trying to make is when you're searching for the other to complete you, you have to look within self and complete the assignments within you first. Otherwise, as you go along your journey, the more you feel incomplete, the more you will attract incomplete or people that are not whole with themselves. And you'll never get relationships that are based off of good communication, good quality when it comes to self love, self worth, self value. You'll continue to attract people that will be competitive when it comes to you and them, trying to one up you. So you have to be that the best friend that you would want to have, because you can't expect yourself in others. Okay, you have to expect yourself within self. You have to expect better and more for yourself. You have to raise your bar now. If you came out of a scenario, now it's time to raise the bar. Now it's time to uh, think more highly of yourself. Now it's time to believe in yourself. These are all the messages from Pisces, Sagittarius, and Aries. Okay, Mars being in Cancer, Mars doesn't like to feel all this mushy emotional stuff. Mars is the masculine energy. You know, they ain't got time for all of that. We got shit to do. We got to work. We got to do this, and that. So whatever you were doing to escape from the universe is making you face it, and you will come to head with it. And I'm just, being the little sign on the side of the road, whatever you want to call it, that's telling you to, like, hey, this is a heads up that these things will take place. So just kind of stay grounded. When you escape and you become too spiritual and you lack groundedness, meaning you start to neglect your foundation, you start to neglect your priorities. um, Pisces is saying, hey, come down to earth just a little bit, earthling, because we are spirits just having a human experience, but you have to be practical. So you often have to balance spirituality with practicality. Um, Remember that you are in a position where you are deprogramming and reprogramming. Because when you were a child, you were born with no state of mind, and your state of mind was programmed, okay, based on the way of mankind at that time. And then you went from there and you adapted to the changes from there. Okay, so now things happened along your journey, and what happened next? What happened next was you realized you got in relationships that were superficial. You got in scenarios that didn't, well, you may feel like now they don't meet, they no longer meet your needs. They're no longer at the same frequency. So you have to accept what is and shift so that you can grow. If you're in any situation that you are unhappy in, that means you're in a situation ship. And you have to look at the very root of it and say, why did I get into this scenario in the first place? How did I get here? And it all stemmed from your choices. And then you can't be mad at no one, but you have to be accountable for your actions within self. Okay? So the North Node is telling you to not rush, slow down, proceed with caution, but at your own pace at the same time, because it's not a race when it comes to self love. Okay? Um, Trust in the unknown and have faith. Because when you are putting doubt into what it is that you are trying to manifest, then you're doubting yourself. You're doubting your ability to overcome any challenge. You're doubting your ability to have an intuition. You're doubting your ability to be able to hear the Most High communicate with you, right? Your consciousness is what is evolving. If you experience the hardship of any kind, it's a test. It is part of this test, is part of your testimony. You got the lessons from the book. Okay. So now on your journey, you have to live out the karma that was created for you when you decided to manifest into this world. A lot of people are like, what the hell am I doing here? Your birth chart will tell you what you're doing here. Life's experience will help you tell you what you're doing here, because it will tell you, well, what I was doing ain't working, so now I need to do something else. Okay, so now it always leads back to, what are you good at? What are you most creative at? Because you have to recreate yourself. You have to recreate your life scenario. You have to recreate the narrative. Okay. um and the best way to do that is to detract, uh, detach, and detox. Put it like that, yeah. Detach and detox. And the way you do that is to isolate so that you can elevate. All right. If you've experienced rejection, or you may have to reject something or someone, because you have to get back to self. A lot of people have a hard time dealing with themselves, or even sitting with themselves, because a lot of people have always been like Aquarians. They like to be around groups of people. Scorpio doesn't like to look at the fears, so they often manifest fear from a place of fear, but they have to see that they rule over the fears, so they're supposed to be fearless. Same thing like Leo. Leo has the heart of gold, so they may wear their heart on their sleeve. They may feel scared a lot. That's what this. These are the fixed signs. Taurus doesn't want to let go, likes to hold on tightly to things, to grudges. Um, in Aquarius, has to find themselves amongst different groups of people. They have to find their place in the world. But in order to do that, you have to get the research, the information. So the earth, the element of air, earth, fire, and water will help you see things from a higher perspective. But you have to know, what is it that's bothering you, that's prohibiting you from moving forward. And when you look at that, and you really tap into the subconscious, the back of your mind, when you tap into the emotions, the deep down feelings, then you can really get to the heart of the matter once you get past the consciousness. Um, so the energy is pretty much asking us to evolve consciously and to slow down. Um, take it easy. Not to don't overdo it. Okay. And remove toxicity from your life. You have to. Because if you are around people and you have to adapt to these people by escaping into a vice that may be getting out of hand, then you have to realize the cycle that you could be repeating. So you have to get tired of the cycle. You have to get tired of repeating the lesson, and that's the only reason it hurts if you are hurting. If not, and you're on your journey and you're just wondering what's up, this is what's going on with the energy right now. So there's a lot of emotion. There's a lot of nostalgic feeling. There's a lot of emotional imbalances needing to balance. There are a lot of people um, that are putting their trust into the wrong people, places, or things. And so when you flip your state of consciousness, you can really tap into what it is that is hindering your growth. All right. So if you feel enslaved in any type of relationship, you need to I won't say need, but you have to really look at same difference, have to, need, whatever. The sensitivity behind it, you have to just let it be. Okay, it is what it is. So if you're in a situation where you feel enslaved, you have to look at what you need to do to break free. So it starts with you. Get comfortable with the idea of self. The illusion is that you're alone. The illusion is that you'll never get to where you want to be. The illusion is anything negative that is trying to talk you out of your abundance. Okay? So just pay attention to your emotions, your ego, um, and keep working toward your goal. Keep working on that muscular strength endurance. That's the state of the mind. That's the brain. Okay, if you're working on your physical body, keep working on muscular strength endurance. Fruit, nuts, berries are good at this time. Soaks in the bath. Um, right now, soft sounds, um, frequency that will allow you to think. Um, be able to discern and be able to compartmentalize what emotions are yours and what emotions do not belong to you. Because as you go along this journey, Pisces is the pineal gland, the third eye. So there's a lot of third eye work that needs to be done. Okay, the key is taking your time and slowing down. Think before you act. Respond, not react. Because the North Node in Pisces is teaching us to be a little bit more, you know, cool, be a little bit more chill, be a little bit relaxed. Don't rush things. Don't force vibes. Don't just don't overdo it. Just be. Be in the present, okay? If people are isolating themselves from you, it's okay. The illusion is that you think there's something wrong with you, but you need to look at self and 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 see why you're even clinging to that idea. It is a reflection of our codependent um, program that was instilled in us. Okay, so I'm gonna leave this there. I'm gonna make another video, um, probably tomorrow or something. I don't know. But I'll be back. Um, I'm practicing what I preach. So believe in yourself, okay? Um, and if you're gonna tap into sounds, tap into some sounds that make you feel good. Don't go back to places that um you were meant to heal from. Um, a lot of people are having to continuously break up with the relationships that they created in their mind because a lot of people realize that um, the ones you were with or the people you were around were not who you thought they were, and that's because you made them out to be something bigger than they were in your head, and so now the relationship existed mostly in your mind because you believed or your perception of them was something different, right? So now you have to get a higher perspective and say, okay, what was that person meant to teach me? Boom, lesson learned. Now I can move forward. But your mind still has to heal from the program because it's like, but damn, for real? And your mind is like, yes, for real. Now keep going forward. But it's a constant healing process. And we have to respect the process. We have to respect the lessons that people were meant to teach us. We have to stay grounded. We have to move forward and we have to evolve so that we can attract what is truly meant for us because we can't have the peaceful life, the American dream, the whatever it is that you dream about with you can't have that if you're still attached to what you was meant to break from, what was meant to heal you. Okay. I can be reached on any of the platforms. If you look at my profile description, whatever, I leave links in there for how to contact me. Um, check out my videos on YouTube. Timing is fluid, so whatever video you feel inclined to click on, go ahead and click on them. Check me out on Instagram. I'm working through Snapchat. I ain't figured it out like that yet, but I'm gonna get around to it because I've been doing a lot of different stuff. So I wish you peace, happy healing, stay safe, stay balanced, see things from a higher perspective. And for those of you that have lost a loved one in the 3D, I wish you a smooth transition, and I wish that your loved ones will continue to evolve spiritually and that their spirit continues to live on. But remember, you're not losing a person, you're gaining an angel and an ancestor. Um, I personally do not feel the loss, but when I look into the 3D aspect, my mind can make me think that someone is not there. And that's when the consciousness tries to make me fall asleep. But subconsciously, I know that they're right here. You know what I'm saying? So it's that perception that we have to um, remember that that's what life is about. Okay. Um, yeah, I'm gonna leave it there. That's what life is about. So y'all stay safe out there. Happy travels, and I'll be back with another video.